His characters are so dumb. They were just so dumb. And even like he's a great writer, but it just didn't. I don't know.
I think he's in the phoning it in stage of his.
I think he's doing the mainstream superhero thing where he's just cutting. They're cutting him a check, and he's like, "All right, I'll have it by Tuesday."
Yeah. And when you're a big top name writer like that, you can do that.
You don't have to do. Yeah, you don't have to try.
Yeah.
You don't.
All right, welcome back, traders. We are back.
I know that because I'm a big top name writer.
Everything's late. Nobody dies. Episode number 80.
That is true, but
there's a big 0 on the end of that one.
Lucky 80.
Lucky. It's all uphill from here.
That's what my doctor said. No, people do die.
People do?
Yeah, Paul Diano died.
Oh, yeah.
That bummed me out, man. Dude is kind of a mess. Yeah, he was kind of, but he was my favorite Maiden singer. I think he was the best.
I think he was the best Maiden singer.
Yeah, that's sure. Iron Maiden
Iron.
To you kids that are out there listening.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that me, being a top writer, wrote.
So, yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah,
just discussing Far Sector. I just picked up the digest of Far Sector. I know that you're not a big fan of the digest books, but
I'm still split on them. And I don't love them. I don't dislike them.
I actually, so I hadn't read, because I've obviously read The Watchmen like a million times.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even crack it when I first got it. Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I think it works really well with some things, not with others.
Right.
I think Far Sector is probably
tough.
Yeah.
Because there's so much dark art in that, and the word bubbles get dark.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my old eyes are struggling.
Man, I'm not positive that that's the correct one to do. Watchmen, I don't think was the right thing to do, but and I mean there are some of them. I think they should try doing them with some older stories.
I think so. Crisis, I think would be a good one to put out.
No, Crisis would be great. It would be awesome. The a volume 1 of the 80s Justice League.
That would be super.
That'd
cool.
be perfect. Because I mean they're going to pull all those characters into the movies anyway.
Yeah,
or at least a bunch of them.
Well, but they're only going to have like 1.5 movies, and then they're going to reboot it again. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, then they'll rehire
James Gunn,
Snyder, Zack Snyder. They'll rehire.
Are we on James Gunn right now?
Yeah, we're on James Gunn. We're on James Gunn. Yes, we're on James Gunn.
So they'll rehire
They'll
Snyder.
Do something. Yeah, they'll
go another 2 movies and then bring Gunn back.
There you go. Yeah. And then they'll have the gun cuts. They'll have the gun cuts. It'll just have more swearing and more jokes.
Yeah.
More Nathan Fillion.
Josh Whedon showing up every once in a while.
Yeah. Nathan Fillion just literally plays everyone. Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk play everybody in the DC universe.
But
I would probably watch that.
Yeah, I would definitely watch it. But Alan Tudyk would just be his voice. He would voice all the animated characters.
He could voice Nathan Fillion. That'd be awesome.
That would be super cool.
Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, man, I don't know if you've been following any of the IDW stuff.
I have not. Catch me up. What's going on?
They've redesigned their logo.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, neither would anybody else because it looks like it says IUD.
All right.
It looks so terrible.
Wow.
Oh my god, man. Oh Jesus. So it's like an I and then a D, but both of them are cut in half to make it look like a W on the bottom. It is so awkward looking. Oh my god, man. It just doesn't.
So I think we're seeing the sting of the crash hitting these companies.
Definitely, yeah.
They're losing ground.
These AEWs.
Oh, they're free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can have one.
So they're losing ground, and rightfully so. I mean, they should never have been putting out books the way that they were, just because there was free government money out there. So
yeah,
It is what it is. So they're definitely feeling the sting of that, and they're wanting to show to their people, well, we can still keep up that um,
yeah.
that pace of growth, and it's just not possible.
You can't do that. I mean, and it's like, you have to learn that stuff. I expanded the store during that time,
right?
But that's because it was empty. They were losing money. They gave me a hell of a deal,
right?
And I had enough back issues and enough profit coming in that I could do that, and then by expanding, I could put more stuff out and sell more,
right?
But that's as far as it goes, man. That was that time. I'm not trying to take GameStop over. Right. You know what I mean? You've got to realize that time was different. That was an anomaly. And you can't just keep going like that, because that's not the way it happens, man.
But in your case, and this speaks a lot to your acumen as a businessman.
What's your language? I don't speak Latin. Don't swear at me in French.
You weren't doing it reactionary, right? You had an opportunity, and on paper it worked out, and you sat down, you thought about it, you put the
like, how can I do this? Can I make this happen? Will this happen?
And I think that's one reason, like, you're going into your 21st year. Mm-hmm. One reason you're going into your 21st year is because you lived through the 90s. You know what a crash is like.
Yeah.
You're now currently living through a crash, and the business is doing well, because you're not following those trends. You're not up and down all the time. Right, yeah. You're not chasing.
I mean, if you're in this business, if you're in any physical media business, you have to understand that there's not the occasional crash. It's in constant flux.
Right.
There's a crash every couple of months with something, right now, Marvel's taking a hit, and DC is selling well.
Right.
I haven't seen that for years.
And DC's made some really good decisions,
and they made some really bad decisions. Right. But their ultimate line, their absolute line, I keep saying that.
Their ultimate absolute.
People come in and they're like, can I add Ultimate Batman, Ultimate Wolverine? No, wait. Absolute, no. Ultimate Wolverine. No, hold on. Like that, it's confusing. But I mean, that was a good decision, piggybacking off of Marvel's good decision. And it's like, and now they're doing the same thing with the Epic collections, but they're calling them the whatever the hell it is. I can't remember what it is. The DC. Ooh, I don't know. Let's know what it is. I don't know. I can't remember what it is. But but they're doing like their version of the Epic collections. And they look, on paper, they look pretty nice. It's probably a good idea. They don't seem to be doing a lot of older stuff though, which is weird. They're doing a lot of new stuff, because I think DC focuses on the new stuff, and they almost forget that they have 80 years worth of stuff, or 90 years worth of stuff.
Yeah.
They forget some of that, I think.
I would like to see some like volumized reprints of some of the Golden Age stuff. Some of the going back that old. Superman. Well, I know Superman was originally a reprint of Action anyway, but some of those early Superman stories, not in $150 omnibus.
Yeah, because there's such a small audience for that.
Yeah,
I have one guy that gets all the Masterworks, all the Marvel Masterworks, and one person. That's it. One. It's hard to sell those things, man, because they are $75 to $100.
Yeah.
Right. And your average person that comes in to grab, like, oh yeah, man, what we'll do? We'll just grab some comics. We'll do this. We'll do that. They're not going to come in and be like, oh, cool. There's an $80 Ghost Rider book. That's lovely. Let's do it, man. That's going to be somebody that is like super into it, that really, really wants that deluxe edition kind of thing.
Right.
You know, what I would love to see, and if they even, God, man, if they were smart, what they would do, you know, is they would, it's almost like political candidates seeing what one person does and then doing it a little better, and then the other person's like, oh wait, I'm gonna do this a little better, and oh wait, I see what you did, I'm gonna do that better, you know what I mean?
Right.
Instead, you know, I mean, unfortunately now we just have people that do things worse, but you know, it used to be more like that, and the business used to be more like that too. Hi.
Hey, Damon. Yeah. Hi, Damon.
Hi, we're not ignoring. But you know, if they really were smart about this, what they would do, I think, is they would take that Epic edition, you know, Epic collection business model. They would drop the price by $10 on what Marvel is charging, and they would start from the beginning in the 30.
Oh yeah, and that would be huge because I mean,
couldn't keep those in stock.
Yeah,
because you can't find those, you know, 1930s, 1940s Superman, Batman, you know, JSA, Green Lantern. You can't find any of that stuff anymore.
And when you do, they're encased in a slab, and
right,
and rightly so, they should be. I think,
mean, you know, but at the same time, and like you can't find the trades, you can't find the reprints
right,
of them,
right.
And they're doing the facsimile editions, you know, but that's one issue.
And I don't care who you are. I don't think that.
I don't care who you are either. Why are you so rude?
I don't think reading them, you know, on your Kindle is ever going to be the same.
No, man, it's not going to be the same. It'll never be the same.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I understand that people, you know, like digital comics. I get that. But, you know, I feel like if you had like an entry level thing like that from the beginning that was fairly priced, I feel like you could convert a lot of those people.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, you know, if they're reading it digitally, obviously they don't give a damn about the original book. You know, they read digitally, they're just going to be like, oh, okay. See ya, thanks, guys. You know, they don't like, they're not looking for original copy. They're not looking for, you know, what, it's just not gonna, nobody cares.
Right.
You know, so why not try and flip that to a physical copy? You know, why not, you know, and why not try to get some of those digital readers into the comic shops?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be exclusively, you know, they're not going to lose that digital audience. Because, you know, if somebody is reading something digitally, it's because they like to. It's because that's what they've grown up with. That's what they know now.
I think you would convert a lot of those younger readers into a digital form or into a physical format.
Yeah, it would. And I think, you know, and I mean, I think if these publishers want to survive into the next generation, they need to start concentrating on that.
Well, and honestly, the what happens here in a comic shop is never going to happen in a digital space. So you're never going to have people congregating to talk about the latest issue of the book. They're not opening up, you know, an AOL chat room. There's going to be even a thing anymore. There's not going to be a Facebook.
And group. When you do, it goes for like 10 minutes. You know,
there's not going to be a digital place where people are going to meet and discuss what the latest issue of Spider-Man.
And if there is, they're just going to insult each other.
That's true. That's very true.
Being in a fight, and it's just not going to be any fun. You know,
do many customers want to read Golden Age? I'm not sure. I would think a lot of them would.
No, a lot do.
I mean, and I say that I would definitely read Golden Age stuff if it was affordable and accessible.
Oh yeah.
But I know I'm also not I'm not the target audience, right? I'm going to be dead in 5 years. They're going to want the 17, 18-year-old kid that's got 20 years of bite.
Have you been on that mydeathday.com thing?
No.
Okay, all right. Do you know something that we don't? Well, you know, the problem with customers, I mean, that's a good question. Did they want to read Golden Age? They're not now because you don't have them.
Right.
How they can't read something that's not here. And another thing about a lot of the Golden Age stuff, even though the Batman stuff was pretty dark, at the beginning there, and a lot of things, something about the Golden Age stuff that I don't think people realize is they're great for kids.
Yeah.
And, so much of that stuff was just, fun, pulpy, goofy, goodness or, whatever, right? If you're going to, if you've got a kid and if you got a 10-year-old, you're trying to get into comics, what are you going to give him? Are you going to give him Batman fighting the Joker, with oversized clocks and big model dinosaurs and, whatever like that? Or are you going to give him Detective Comics when Joker cuts his face off?
Yeah.
No, go for the Golden Age stuff, man. Yeah. And also, I think it might be a good idea if you're going to do that Golden Age stuff to make them in the digest size. Do both.
Yeah, it'd be very easy to do the digest stuff.
Do your digest stuff, and that can be the kid stuff, and because they're used to manga. Yeah, a lot of them are used to mangas, and digests and things like that.
Yeah, I don't understand how they got the price point so low on that digest stuff. I mean, I understand that they own the rights to those stories, so they're not paying
because they can.
Yeah,
there's no reason at all for this stuff to be this expensive.
Yeah, and we've discussed that quite a bit over the last couple of years. I mean, the pricing is crazy. I was just having a conversation with...
What are you doing? We're filmed. No.
Well, there you go.
You can go right by. It's okay. No,
you guys are cool. But I was just discussing with one of our local guys. His price point on his self-published book is $5.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's telling him, that's too low.
Yeah, he messaged me about that.
Did he?
Yeah. And I'm like, no, man, it's perfect.
Yeah, and it is perfect because, I know that your profit isn't the same as Marvel on that book. But at $5, people are going to give your book a chance. Mm-hmm. At $10, they're going to be, oh, it's cool, it's local, but I'm not going to pay $10 for it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of our local creators here are very smart with that $5 price point.
Yeah,
and I've been to different stores in different cities, and seeing their local. Am I boring you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care. that was. I've been to different stores in different cities, and seeing their local stuff, and a lot of their stuff is like, $10-$15. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. And I walk out without it.
Yeah.
And if it's something local that looks interesting, I'll pay $5.
Yeah.
You bet. Interesting. What is in this?
It's been a day, I'll tell you.
What is in this, man? I haven't slept for like 3 days, really.
So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think there's a lot of missed opportunity there to not only make more money and make their business viable, but to get new readers interested and spark conversation and the next generation. And I think that's something that the larger companies are losing sight of.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
Sure. They want their...
and that's the thing. I mean, that tells you right there. I mean, they're not putting stuff out at a loss. They're not going to put things out and lose money on it.
Right.
Okay. And the fact that they can do a $9.99 trade tells you that they're making money on a $10 trade paperback.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
They're making money on it. And they're, manga's been doing that for 3 decades. They're typically $10, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was like, why those people park in front of the stairs when there's like 100 parking spots out there?
Nah, I don't know. I parked in front of the stairs on the other side, so I don't know.
No, you didn't. I did.
Oh, somebody's up late.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Tommy, that's got to be like midnight for his time. Zines for 15, $20 around here are no good for me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's actually a local guy. Beautiful book, great story, artwork's fantastic. His writing's on point, but for a like this size of book, something like this, it's like $40. Like,
no,
it's
and
insane.
you can't, you know, and you see that at Comic Cons too, right? And when there are independent creators and self-published creators that are at Comic Cons, and if you got something there that says $4, you're going to see small stack of books. You got somebody next to them that says $15 for the same size book. They got a big ass stack, and they're going home with it too.
Yeah,
they're not selling this stuff, and it's just, I think a lot of the time, it's kind of tough because people still think this for some reason. They still think that you're going to get in the comics business and get rich. Like, man, I'm going to have a movie, and I'm going to have a TV show, and I'm going to have action figures and T-shirts, and people are going to be dressing as my characters for Halloween. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but how long did it take Iron Man to be that?
Yeah,
it's like, and Iron Man was nothing for years, and then the movie came out, and that's decades later,
and had a multi-billion-dollar company
and had a mega company behind it. Yeah, sure. And then you've got like Walking Dead. Walking Dead, man, look how successful that is. Yeah, it took him like 10 years. I mean,
and that was a fast one.
Yeah.
Like that,
thinking that up.
That's overnight. That's overnight in the comic business.
Yes. Thinking that up, pitching the book, getting it, lying about the pitch, by the way.
Yeah.
He lied to Image about it, because zombie stuff didn't sell. So he said it was a sci-fi book too. Did you know that?
No.
So there were aliens. That's why that was the
like he actually told him there was aliens in it.
Yeah. And he said the reason that they were zombies is because of aliens. That's why Ryan did that backup story about aliens in number 50. Yeah. So, he was like, yeah, so there's this zombie epidemic, and they're like, yeah, go on. Yeah. And then, there were zombies, and then, the reason that they're zombies is because of aliens. And then they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. All right, I like sci-fi book. Let's do it. And from that until that show came on the air was years. And Invincible was longer.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say Invincible took forever. The Boys,
like 15 years. Yeah. I remember when Derek was here the first time. And he emailed me and said, are you sure you want me to come? Because the book just got canceled.
Really?
Uh-huh. And I'm like, well, yeah, you've done all kinds of other things. Of course I want you to still come. He's like, okay, all right. I don't know who's picking it up yet, or if anybody is. But, he and Garth Ennis had their book canceled on like issue 5. And then Dynamite picked it up. Because that was a DC book.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Uh-huh. And the reason it was canceled is somebody at DC actually read it and went, what are we publishing? Like, seriously, they were like, what the hell is this?
I don't know. That's how, that was the deal with Watchmen, too. Mm-hmm. They wanted that to be the Justice League.
No, they wanted that to be the Charlton characters.
Oh, yeah. Alan Moore that's what it was.
Yeah, Alan Moore wanted that to be the Charlton characters. And DC had recently bought them, and they're like, no. You can't just do this with characters we just got. We just paid a lot of money for that.
Yeah.
Make up your own. And that's further proof that, yes, I really like Alan Moore's writing. I think he's a great writer. But it's further proof. And then when he says these are his characters and you can't touch them and you can't do this, it's BS, man, because they're not his characters. They weren't his characters.
Right.
Promethea is Wonder Woman. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen are all other people's characters. Lost Girls, as gross as that is, are all other people's characters. You know, who's he? What's he created? Constantine.
Mm.
And Tom Strong. Like, you know, no.
Okay, I like Tom Strong.
Yeah, Tom Strong was fun. You know, I'm not saying anything about that. I'm not saying that the ABC stuff was fun.
Right.
You know, but I mean, even Tom Strong, that's basically Shazam and Superman. You know, I mean, he's basing all of his characters on other characters.
Yeah. Tom Strong to me is I can't remember the character's name. The bronze dude.
Oh, Doc Savage.
Doc Savage.
No.
Yeah, that's who I think of when I read Tom Strong.
Yeah. But you know, and it's kind of like Planetary. But Warren Ellis was very upfront about the fact that, like, oh, this is Doc Savage. Yeah, this is so and so. You know, and he used all those characters in there, or at least the avatars of them, I guess.
Yeah. Tom Strong's based on Doc Savage.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and I definitely see that for sure.
Yeah, you know, and I'm not trying to minimize what Alan Moore has done and what he's contributed and how good of a writer he is.
Oh no, he's definitely top tier.
Yeah, and Prometheus is one of my favorite books. Yeah, like that's so good, man. Tomorrow's Stories was super fun.
So I have a problem with League because I'm a big fan of the movie. Like me and 3 other people love that movie, but
you, the director, and the costume designer,
and I really like the concept. But the art in that book, I just could not. I can't read the book.
Yeah, it's tough. It's pretty tough.
Yeah. That one's really bizarre.
Yeah. That's is that O'Neill? Kevin O'Neill?
I don't know.
I want to say it's Kevin O'Neill. I don't know. I think it is. Yeah.
Doc Brath on the Planetary.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Planetary. I love Planetary too. That's a great book. Did you read that?
No.
Oh man, it's so good. That and Global Frequency are like top tier Ellis stuff, man. Not Transmetropolitan, of course, but you know, yeah, that was like some of his best. That was so good, man. But anyway, yeah, you know, so there's a lot of stuff that's based on other stuff, and that's to make the full circle here. That's a lot of what DC and Marvel are doing with each other right now. Yeah. I just think they could maximize it a little bit. You know, I mean, I feel like if they would actually if Marvel and DC would just sit in the same room, you know, and say, look, you know, we're doing this all day, all night, trying to kill each other. What's best for the industry? This thing would explode again, man.
Yeah. So I did see something. I was watching, we're watching Agatha all along, and New Rock Stars on YouTube is one of my favorite. Like, he does breakdown analysis of the shows and everything, and he's the one that whole Mephisto's in WandaVision, where all that blew up from. Okay. But he said something in this latest breakdown of WandaVision or of Agatha.
Don't talk about this week.
Real interesting. I'm not going to get into spoilers for the show. Other than saying, definitely the best episode. Like,
oh, jeez,
it is the best episode of the show. It's
wow, you're fantastic. On the thing.
There you
go. You're on the thing. Okay, you're not on the thing anymore.
But one thing that he had said, and to kind of expand on that, is I think we're at the point. Agatha is really a good show. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy what they're doing with that. I really like where the direction that Marvel and DC are going right now, in both comics and in their television series and in the shows and stuff. I think that they realize that diluting their characters through all this multiverse bullcrap is getting them nowhere. People are losing interest. And they're kind of bringing it back and tightening it up, and I think we're getting better. That would be good, for it.
Except for the fact that their highest grossing movie in years was about the multiverse, Deadpool.
Yeah,
but you know, they're not going to learn from it. I don't think they'll learn from it. You know, I think they're seeing this and going, "Oh yeah, it can work." They're going to go back to the well again.
I don't know.
I think they will.
I hope not.
I think they're going back to the well, and that's how they're going to bring Robert Downey Jr. back.
I hate that idea.
Yeah, me too.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I love that movie. So see, it's me and Tommy.
And the costume designer.
And the costume designer. Too bad Omar Sharif was not Captain America. That would be cool.
Captain Nemo.
Captain America. Captain Nemo. That would be cool. That would be super cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
All right, so
I'm not sure if Nemo. Anyway,
a lot has happened in the past couple of weeks since we did the last episode. Kind of behind the scenes in the comic industry. What do you think about them shutting down? I'm saying Lunar, and it's not Lunar. Who shut down their facility? The other distributor.
Diamond.
Yeah, shut down one of their facilities back east.
I didn't know about that.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah. They announced their people. They're all getting laid off.
Man, I know that the way they put it is they are coordinating shipments better by having, blah, 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 and, cutting down. I guess that would make sense, though, cutting down all the extra shipping and making it, I think they're all in trouble.
Yeah, it feels very reactionary to me. Like they're not. Well, for one thing, they just don't have the amount of books to send anymore. Like they're not sending Marvel. They're not sending Image.
No, they are. I get all my Marvel and Image for them.
They are, but they're really not.
They're processing.
I mean, yeah. So they may have retained. I can't imagine they retained more than maybe 10% of that business.
I would say more than that. I talked to a lot of people that don't want it. Well, because they don't want to deal with Random House.
Every single shop that I talk to has gone with other distributors. Except for you.
Yeah, and they're also missing their Marvel stuff a lot.
Yeah. And I see I'm bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, they're also missing a ton of Marvel stuff every week.
Yeah. I don't think that's really been an issue around here. With
I've had people come down from out of town, like from
up north,
up north and down south and everything, and say, yeah, they didn't get the Marvel stuff this week.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Or they only got part of it,
But I think also part of that is a lot of people aren't like they're not even talking about the Marvel DC stuff. They're all talking about their independent stuff, indie stuff.
Yeah. No, I think I feel like they've made it too complicated. That's the only reason that I still get them from Diamond. Not the only reason, but the Random House, Diamond's customer service isn't good,
right?
But Random House is terrible. Lunar's is awful. It's if I have a damage from Lunar and I just want credit, they want, and sometimes it's hard to do this. And because, I get the stuff checked in on Monday or Tuesday, like if I get stuff checked in on Monday and I've got some damages, it's a book that's not selling all great. And I'm just like, oh, hell, just give me credit for those 3 copies. And then Tuesday, I'm doing my Diamond order and getting the shelves ready. Wednesday is crazy. Then I don't get credit for those books because they want, within 48 hours, they want pictures of the damages. They give you 48 hours. They want pictures of the damages. And I'm like, that's not realistic. We're a small business. I don't have a shipping department, that can handle all this stuff. And we're a small business with, a handful of employees, and we're a small local business. And it's really tough to do that.
I mean, when you're talking like 3 books, I mean, it's almost just easy to take the loss and throw it in the dollar bin, and move on.
Yeah, but then again, we can't take that loss. We're a small business.
Yeah.
Oh, Walmart throw them away.
And
They don't
those
care,
small
man.
businesses add up.
Yes.
Those small losses add
Yeah.
up.
$6,
sure.
$8, $10, you know, and with some of their cover prices being $8 or $9, you know, that's some money being thrown away.
Random House's customer service is so random.
Yeah, totally. It is. It absolutely is, man.
Kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, you know, it's impossible to get anybody that actually will talk to you. You know, you don't talk to anybody on the phone now. You know, and sometimes when you turn in those damage claims, it takes them a day, 2 days to get back to you. You know, and then when they're approved, it takes another week or two to get sent to. It's just a problem, you know. And then that's kind of the thing with Diamond is they're the horrible devil I know.
Right.
You know, I mean, I can get those. You know, they give you a couple of weeks to do your damages and stuff. They'll give you a few weeks. You know, sometimes after a week, that whole like list of stuff with Lunar is gone. Like you can't access the shortages and damages thing for that week. It's gone.
You know, and I've had a lot of people say that they feel that the whole Random House thing, all of that, and Lunar, all of that is to kind of push people away from physical media because Marvel and DC want people to buy direct and they want people to order online and get digital copies. And
I don't know so much about that. You know, I think it's
certainly very conspiratorial, and I don't know.
And, yeah, I don't
buy all that.
I don't know if I buy that, you know, but I will say it's to shut Diamond down. You know, I will say it's an aggressive move to shut down Diamond, you know, because it's retaliatory, you know, because when those, as soon as those contracts were up, they went in and they're like, yeah, we want more. And Diamond's like, well, we can't give you more because things are really tough right now. We just came out of a pandemic and a recession and all this kind of stuff. You know, we can't give you more. So they went to a different place that would take that business and give them more, a bigger percentage of that profit. And that was in retaliation for not, I mean, I don't, there's no way that it isn't.
Yeah.
You know, that is getting back at them for not giving them a better deal. And it is cutthroat capitalism. You know, and I'm not one of those guys that's like, capitalism's bad. Capitalism is what I'm doing here every day. Okay. It's how I feed my family and pay for my belongings. You know what I mean? It's not, capitalism's not bad. It's how you use it.
Right.
You know, if it is cutthroat capitalism and it is, you know, revenge oriented and trying to destroy people, yeah, it's super bad. And that's kind of how I feel, you know, that's what I feel they're doing. You know, because these are big companies that own these publishers now. They put a lot of money into it and they want to get everything back they can. And they have no problem stepping on you to do it.
Yeah.
No problem at all. So yeah, it's not capitalism, it's hyper capitalism and cutthroat capitalism. That's the problem. You know, but I think that's what it is.
And I don't think it's maintainable, to be
honest
with you.
No, I don't think it is either. You know, I mean, there's no way that on their own, you know, there's no way that on their own, like, and that's why they keep going after more publishers, you know, because Lunar couldn't do their thing with just DC.
No.
You know, they were making money at first, but they were putting a lot of money, you know, they were putting a lot of money into warehouses and employees and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So they started, oh, well, man, how about if we get these guys too? How about these guys? How about these guys? You know, and some of the guys that they've gotten, I get cancellation notices every week for Scout. Scout doesn't put anything out anymore. Vault's back on track. You know, but I mean, hell, I barely even order any Scout stuff anymore because I know it's not coming out.
Yeah, I haven't picked up a Scout book in forever.
You know, why allocate my money to something that's not coming out.
Yeah.
If I can buy a couple more books that I know will sell.
Yeah. Digital subscriptions are so cheap. I think that might be true. I don't think that digital's the way of the future. I think digital, if they tried to go all digital, like just cut off physical media, it would not work. It just wouldn't.
People are not going to. You'd at least have to put trade paperbacks of that stuff out.
So I don't think that it's the way of the future in the way that Marvel and DC seem to think that it is.
No.
But I think they're trying. I mean, they're trying it, and we're suffering for it.
Well, yeah. I mean, and you can see that with Marvel Unlimited, how many exclusive, I mean, people come in all the time and they'll be, do you have this? I mean, no, that's just digital.
Yeah.
Eventually they might print them physically. But, it's easy for them because there's no printing costs. There's no shipping. There's no distribution. There's nothing. They scan it and then they sell it.
Yeah. And we're seeing very similar things going on in role-playing games at the moment as well.
Which I don't know about, so I'll leave that one to you.
Yeah. Are Mad Cave Comics picking up the slack from Scout and Vault?
Absolutely.
Really?
No question. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, Mad Cave has come alive in the last year. They've got like Cullen Bunn and Zach Thompson are doing stuff with them. They picked up the Flash Gordon, the Defenders of the Earth, Dick Tracy, like all that stuff they picked up.
I'll have to look into that.
And these Flash Gordon guy. And these are like, they got Flash Gordon and Flash Gordon Quarterly. And Dick Tracy they have, and that's sold well. We're out of a couple issues of that, which I can't believe I just said. Wow. That hasn't happened for decades.
That's cool. That's cool.
But Mad Cave is putting this stuff out, and and they've got the Gotcha Man, the Battle of the Planets thing that they're doing. Okay. Like all this stuff they're doing. They're doing a ton of it.
Cool.
Yeah, they definitely picked up some slack, and I think that's one of the small companies that saw an opening. And they picked up these licenses that a lot of people were like, why is this happening? Why are you doing this? These are garbage licenses, man. They don't sell, and they're selling because they're putting out quality books.
I mean, it's understandable. I think you can take anything, really, like take Get Smart.
Mm-hmm.
And you could turn that into a viable comic.
Yeah. And if you had a good creative team, you put it out. And that's the other thing about Mad Cave now. They're putting stuff out on time.
Quality, and it has to be on time.
Mm-hmm.
Comic readers aren't stupid. We're not buying trash.
Yeah. Has to be consistent.
I was excited today. I picked up the new copy of Epitaph.
Such a good book.
Because they're putting out great books.
That's so good, man.
Like, this stuff is incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's an anthology, and they're getting top tier talent doing it. And it's coming out on time. And they're doing way too many covers because I'm running out of room because I get them all because I love
it. Conan. This has become good. Like this new run, like this is good.
I've heard nothing bad about that.
Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah.
Like, so quality, something that maybe the big two need to look at.
And you know what Conan's doing? That some of that is the same. It's some of the same people that are working on the Marvel one.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that Jim Zub that's doing that? Is that Zub?
I don't know. It's good.
Yeah, it is. Jim Zub was writing some of the Marvel stuff.
And Braithwaite, yeah.
He was the one. He was writing Conan for them.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Marvel Conan was horrible
because I think there was too much interference with it.
The Sumerian stuff was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
Guess who did that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that they were like, the Howard Foundation or what the hell ever it is. I don't know. Whoever owns Conan. Estate, not foundation, the Howard Estate.
Might be a foundation.
The Howard Foundation. Yes, to help wayward boys named Howard. I think they probably looked at that and they were like, yeah, they're not the Sumerian is selling really well, and people were responding to that. Let's give Titan the chance here.
Yeah.
And Marvel passed.
DC's Absolute Wonder Woman has been praised a lot. All of their Absolute stuff is getting really good press.
Yeah, the Wonder Woman, I believe, is good. That's Kelly Thompson. She's great.
Yeah.
She's really good. Batman I read and I did not like, but I don't like Scott Snyder's Batman. So there's no surprises there. Again, like I said, if you like New 52 Batman, you'll like the Absolute Batman. If you're sick of Batman and you want something completely new, that's where you go. I'm really thinking of getting rid of my Batman Rebirth collection, as I told you before, and just picking up a random miniseries and calling it good. Yeah. With Batman, I'll keep going with Detective because Tom Taylor just started on it. I love him.
I haven't started reading it again. Like I've got all the back issues, but
yeah,
I was actually, we discussed this. I was going to fire Batman, and I'm like, Taylor's on it. Maybe I'll stick around for a while.
Yeah, no, and it's, hopefully he'll do something new with it and keep it detective oriented.
Right.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Well, that's what I liked about Detective from 2-3 years ago. Is it was detective again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see that they're Mad Cave selling Dick Tracy, so
skipping back,
maybe there is a place for that. Skipping Absolute Batman for now, maybe trades in a year or two. Yeah,
I can see that. That seems like a good choice. I feel.
I assume Absolute line will get buzz and then fade away within 2 years, which seems to be. I don't know why they keep doing this. I mean, they've done it like. DC's the worst. They'll reboot everything and do this type of stuff, and then it'll last a couple of years.
No, go away.
And then it'll go away, and they're like, "Oh, remember when we did that and it didn't work? Let's try that again.
Let's try it again.
Let's do that again."
All it is All-Star Batman. It's the All-Star line,
right?
It's the Ultimate line. It's all that, and it's, and I don't know. I give it maybe a little more than 2 years altogether, but. I think I'm thinking within a year it's going to start dropping. Sales wise, it'll start dropping because they're going to do too many.
Yeah,
they've already announced like 7 of them.
And if one of them takes off, if Wonder Woman takes off, then you're going to see the Wonder Woman verse. And,
right. Yeah. And you're going to see Absolute Wonder Girl, and you're going to see Absolute Donna Troy, and you're going to see Absolute Titans, and you're going to see Absolute Justice League and everything. Right. It's not that different from the Ultimate stuff. The Ultimate stuff came out of the gate so strong, and now it sells for shit. Spider-Man sells well. That's it.
Yeah.
I can't give away the Ultimate X-Men. I can't. That Black Panther doesn't sell. Ultimate sells okay. Spider-Man's the only one that's selling. And then they announce Ultimate Wolverine and an Ultimate Year One special and an Ultimate all this stuff. They're gonna kill the line that's successful, and you keep those couple of core books. That's why the Ultimate stuff was successful in the first place, because you had Spider-Man, X-Men, and Fantastic Four,
right?
And Ultimates, which was Avengers, and that's all you had, man. And you had Ultimates 2 and Ultimates 3, and then Ultimate Avengers, and then Ultimate Wolverine and Ultimate Captain America and Ultimate Hulk and Ultimate 6 and Ultimate Daredevil and Ultimate Elektra and all that stuff, and Ultimate War and Ultimate Extinction. And then people were like, no, I'm out.
It gets to be overwhelming.
And then it died. And then they brought it back with Ultimate Comics, Ultimate Marvel or Ultimate Comics Spider-Man or whatever. That's when they brought Miles Morales into it. And that worked really well. And then they did Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate X and Ultimate, and all the other stuff. And they did too much of it again. And then it fell off again.
Every time.
Yeah.
Batman Year One was the best relaunch DC ever made. I think it was a good one.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree fully. 100% agree.
I mean, that is honestly akin to what happened in the 60s with the relaunch of the modern age, transitioning from the
golden to the silver age.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's, I think that the silver age crossover thing, was very important. More important than Batman Year One, but I think Batman Year One was the best thing.
Well, and Batman Year One spoke to a different collector.
Yeah, it did.
A different buyer, a different reader.
If you remember down in the corner box, it would say DC Comics aren't just for kids anymore.
Right.
They were saying, hey, look, you know what? And you guys grew up with this. Let's have it grow up with you.
Yeah. All right. So a lot of good stuff happening in the industry. And I did want to hit on a couple things. You got some stuff coming up next week. Mm-hmm. Halloween, of course.
Halloween.
Your second favorite holiday. Halloween.
After Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
After Canadian Thanksgiving. Yeah. Oh, I love Canadian Thanksgiving. They're so thankful. They're so pleasant and nice.
So Wednesday, we got a lot going on in the shop.
I like that song.
We've got Adrian Rope's going to be here.
He will be here. 4 to 7 is when we're doing this. So Adrian will be here. I've got a bunch of his like Pink Panther stuff and Casper and things like that he's worked on. Our friend Bill Galvin will be here.
Right.
Who just did the Archie Halloween special.
Right on.
Which I just ordered a ton more of because it sold out really fast, even before I said he was coming. And finally, our friend Joni's going to be here.
Nice.
Joni Brosas will be here. She is. So he's looking at the flyer the other day, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Did she write Vampirella?" And I said, "No, she is Vampirella."
She is Vampirella.
I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "That's her on the cover." And they went, and I said, "Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah." So yeah, we've been working with her to try and get her in forever, man. She's so busy.
Yeah, and such a sweetheart.
Yeah,
like she's awesome.
Yeah, she was super excited, and I sent her the flyer, and she's like, "Oh my god, this looks so cool! I'm going to post it everywhere. This is so awesome."
Okay, so you've got the three of them showing up.
Mm-hmm. We got free comics.
You got free comics.
The
free Halloween comics are coming out.
We got a Venom comic. We got a Spider-Man comic. We got what else we got? I can't even remember. We got so much stuff.
So free comic books.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing a live show.
We will be doing a live show.
We'll be live next Wednesday.
Yeah.
We'll probably kick that off around 3:30 or so. Talk to some of these fine folks.
Mm-hmm. We should do it over in here.
We should.
Yeah, because it's going to be busy.
That could be the new studio.
Oh,
it'll be the Halloween studio.
I like that. Yeah, that's good.
So that's going on next Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So there's not going to be a show on Thursday. We're going to do it on Wednesday, and then we'll celebrate Halloween. We'll be back Thursday after that.
Yep.
Leading into the Christmas holiday season. Mm-hmm. My favorite.
It's my 9th favorite holiday after everything else.
Just real quick, Damien says, do you think comeback of the Vertigo label is going to be attractive to some of your customers? I don't think it holds the gravitas that it used to. I think that goodwill is...
I think it's gone, man.
Yeah.
And I think the reason is they've rebranded all the Vertigo stuff as Black Label.
Yeah.
So how are they going to rebrand all the Black Label as Vertigo?
Right. And, I mean, Black Label doesn't mean anything.
It means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. The DC horror that came out this week, actually really good. David Duckmalion did a story in it. The Boulay brothers did a story in it, which is insane. I've never seen them write a comic.
All right.
But it fits for a Halloween, Halloween book. And it's a 17 or over book. Had some crazy violence in it. Had a little bit of language in it. Not a Black Label. Just DC.
So are they going to keep Black Label and Vertigo?
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know, man. It will be interesting.
I would like Vertigo to mean what Vertigo used to mean.
But it won't.
Sandman, what was that? Sandman Come Back, My Boots Vertigo. I think that's what it would take.
I don't know.
You'd need all of that.
I don't
Sandman,
know.
Lucifer, Swamp Thing.
I don't think Sandman would do it.
No.
Nobody wants to touch Neil Gaiman right now.
That's true.
Even
That's
though
true.
he wants to touch everyone else, which is why no one wants to touch him.
Yeah.
He is comic poison right now. Man.
Yeah. All right, we can take a look at that. We can actually take a look at that on an upcoming show. I'd be interested in having a discussion about Vertigo, the Marvel's New Universe stuff, the Static.
Yeah.
And I think that would be an interesting conversation to have.
Yeah, it would.
See where it comes back. All right.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it for today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to click the little bell icon to notify you anytime we drop a new show. See you on Wednesday next week.
Bing.
Live from Black Hat Comics.
Bing.
We'll see you later, traders.
Bing. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.